So this is a video recording of period 4 for the Socratic Seminar prep for January 22nd. This is number 13. Question is there ever a time when it is right to stereotype, be prejudiced, or discriminate? Why or why not?
My name is Ochi, and my first the stereotype I fit is I'm crap at basketball. I really my dad's 6'7". I'm going to be a college player. I can't play basketball to save my life. But the stereotype I don't fit is because I'm white. People automatically think, oh, he must be rich and privileged. No, my family runs low on money, just like everybody else's. We have all, so we go through hard times just like everyone else. Yes, we do go snowboarding sometimes, but that's just because we get trips from my stepfather's mom, who just was like, oh, hey, you guys snowboard, you should come with us. So they mostly pay for our trip.
Thank you for sharing that. So let us know that is a voluntary sharing. You don't have to tell that about yourself.
So, the right time to stereotype. Yes, but under certain conditions. You have to actually have a justification for it. You actually have to have a reason. You have to a valid reason, not just because, oh, she can't be in this job because she's a girl. No, that's not a valid reason. Valid reason would be like somebody looks unsafe because of the way they dress and the way that they're acting, and you're trying to keep your own safety or someone else safe. You assume, okay, they don't look safe, I'm going to be a little bit more careful, but still not prejudice, still not judge them. And then after some time, if there's evidence of it happening, like he robbed a store or blew somebody up or whatever, then you have valid evidence. You have actual reason and actual justification of said judgment. For example, let's say I don't like him just because of the way he looks. Until I actually example. Just not saying exactly. Just saying I don't like him because of the way he looks. I can't. That's not okay. Until I actually talk to him, try to relate to him, and try to actually make a connection. I can't just automatically assume that I'm not going to like him. He could turn out to be my best friend that I keep with me for the rest of my life. So it's right.
Is it like you judging him?
So overall, as long as you have an extra justification, a reasoning, or sufficient evidence that is legitimate and actually backs up your judgment, or goes against it and shows otherwise, it's not okay unless you have actual evidence and proof. Like unless you have actual proof of said stereotype, don't fully go through with it and just assume that it's true.
Unless there's evidence for a stereotype, don't go through with it. Now you guys are free to share, or you can question Rosie here, since that was a pretty good introduction to the topic. Continue. Go for it.
My mom always told me, assuming always makes an ass out of the person. That's what my mom always told me. So,
don't make it ass.
It's in the word, yeah. So what I was gonna tell you is there's always a backstory for reason. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what somebody does or like what they look like, there's always a reason for them to do what they're doing. No one ever does something just to do it. You know what I mean?
That's what everyone has.
Everyone has something that they did for.
What I'm saying. If it's an involuntary thing to make a judgment about somebody, but until you find proof otherwise to keep that a judgment, it's not a good thing. That's what I'm putting into consideration you can't just assume to rob a store because they wanted to, because they're just like, oh, they're a bad person. No, maybe they're struggling, and this is a literally last-ditch effort. Like, they have no other options of any sort. Until you find out what's really going on, you can't just assume that your assumption is true. That you can't. Without facts, it's not.
So you're kind of like on the edge of the gate. And be like,
I can see reasons why. I can see reasons why, but I can also see reasons why not.
Okay. There you go. Alright, I'm not gonna leave that out.
Good, yeah, I like your guys' conversation.
My name's Artie. Stereotype I fit is I love gardening. Like, I love doing gardens and flowers and stuff.
Why is that a stereotype?
Like, they say that Mexicans are good at lawn mowing.
I had no idea. I don't even see these things.
I love mowing lawns and doing gardening stuff. I do. I really do. The stereotype I don't fit is that I cannot hop fences. I suck. I
feel like this is like
at hopping fences. Every time I drive, basically. But
Thank you, Artie. That was like, again, those are volunteers. You do not have to share those types of things if you don't want to.
What's your point?
Okay, so you said that it's okay under certain conditions. I think that stereotyping is okay, but I just have to ask you is that occurrences. Things that happen in my life is that my father has been in the past year has been in 5 accidents. They aren't very major; they're minor, and all of them were somebody hitting him. And 4 of those 5 accidents were the fact that 4 of them were Asian people that were hitting him, and 1 of them was a white person. And so, judging from that, those experiences, can you say that all Asians are bad drivers?
No, I can't make that assumption. Everybody makes a mistake at some point in time. We're not all perfect human beings. There are some that stereotype the Asian who are smart. I had an Asian friend who was failing math. Okay? Literally failing math, and I was like, you are so bad to your people. No, like everybody. Isn't that stereotype? Exactly. The joke was that I was like a stupid stereotype because it's not going to always be true. People assume that I'm going to be rich. I get a salary because of chores, and I usually end up using it on stuff that I actually need, and I don't have money for anything else. So I'm not rich. I have the bare minimum of what I need, and that's it. And if I have extra, lucky day. Not all Asian people are bad drivers. Everybody makes a mistake at some point in time. Which is why I don't judge Asian people are bad drivers. Some people are bad drivers like this person could be a bad driver to person A, but then person B is like, oh no, they're fine driver. Everybody has a different perspective on how they drive. So you can't just judge them that all the Asian people are bad drivers because of your father's accidents. Yes, you would think that you'd be like, wow, it's just a weird coincidence that keeps happening. It's just like really 4 out of 5.
Your car that you can take off.
You got like a big red target painted on there or something. No, but it's assume that unless you know that. Like unless you know, like maybe they're reaching or something, or they're on the phone, or they don't see the light change, or they're all different circumstances. They all actually have.
I thought the same thing.
No, I don't assume that.
Just say it
because of that.
You can't say it, it's not allowed.
Well, just say it.
No,
You said like they can't see the light because
they can't see the light because let's
I
say
just
they're
thought,
doing
like,
something.
Yeah.
Oh,
in my head
yeah.
I was like totally true.
But that's okay. I
So like I was saying, let's say you voluntary thought, you're already the stereotype. But then when you don't have to say
because you're surrounded by so much people.
Oh, really?
exactly, you pick up.
If you think of it like that, the only reason anybody is stereotypical.
outer circle, make sure you're writing down questions.
The only
Comments and
reason
go.
that people around us are stereotypical is because someone that they knew before was stereotypical, and the people that they knew before thought the stereotyping was fun.
Right, we've become desensitized to it. It's just a natural thing now. We grow up seeing these things,
Well,
but we
that's
just
like a
think
good
it's a natural thing. No, it's not always a good thing.
You say it depends. Like I don't, in my opinion, probably guys.
It depends on how you're looking at it. If you know that it's not always true, then that's good. Because you think when you do it, you're like, hold on, now take a step back, rethink what I just thought, and go, is that actually necessarily true? Do I have a right to actually think that?
That's a good way to think about it, but I'm not wrong. I agree with your case. He said it depends.
On how you look at it.
On explain.
Alright. Let's see. Just like Artie said, you went into an accident, you start judging, like, you start judging because you cannot, like, once an accident happens to, like, someone you're close to, you cannot, like, think about why the guy had the reason to do it.
Why do you think about that?
Because that's what happens when you go through, let's say, like, for example, you lose your mom. By some killer that just walks in your house. You start and you get so mad at the guy. You don't even stand it. You just judge him from the
I'm gonna judge the person after rape after skin color. Just because it was the person that took my mother. Hey, I'm a Christian. I think God always has a reason for something, and I'm not gonna judge him because he's white or black because he killed my mom. I'm gonna judge him because he killed somebody. He took something that wasn't his. I'm not gonna judge him because that his skin was brown or he was Mexican and he got away. I'm going to judge him because he took something out of his mouth.
So David, just to clarify, because you guys are having a disagreement. David, clarify. Did you say that you would want to stereotype, or are you thinking of something a little bit different in terms of how it might happen? Go ahead.
I'm thinking of both ways and more that there's having this period and then other times it's not.
Okay, so in that scenario, let me just finish this. In that scenario in which somebody hurts you or your family, do you think that whatever stereotype... Go ahead.
Out of anger, literally takes over you. So of course you're just gonna go out. You're not even gonna think twice about it.
The first thing you're thinking about is your skin color. That means there's something really wrong.
Well, that's the first thing that we do because we've been taught that from babies up. We've been taught that stereotypes are always facts. We've been taught that they're always true. But in reality, it's not true.
It depends on how you're raised. Different people are raised different ways. So Randy's parents could tell them everybody is the same no matter your skin color.
Exactly. That's good.
Very good. Let Lonnie go now. Very good. I like the conversation.
I've actually went to like certain places where like some kids that I've never even seen like this is for like black kids.
I'll go for you.
Basically, like I was at this store once and there was this kid. He was like, "Oh my God, you're black."
Now, was he white? The kid?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
There was like these two little kids, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're a real black person," and they're like, "Oh my God, you've never really seen a black person before."
Where were you? Can I ask?
I think it was somewhere out of that.
Oh, okay. All of you stereotyping those in Alabama.
All right, one more too.
Because they're from the South.
First, he was my first, he was like my second Asian friend. And it was like at an all-white school. And I was like the first, like the only black kid, like American black kid.
Yeah.
Because there were like some other black kids, but they were like some other.
They're like exchange
It was
students?
like a huge exchange. Like all of them were from other countries. I guess all of them were afraid of me for a while because I didn't smile a lot.
Why wouldn't they?
Well, now, Lonnie, why didn't you smile?
It was the sun.
Okay, so you were stressed out. I just want to know, like, if you...
While they were afraid for a minute, and then I talked to them.
You said they didn't smile a lot.
No, they were afraid of me. They smiled too, but they just when they saw me, they were just like,
Oh, here's the big time.
Oh, because you looked like you didn't smile. Interesting. Okay.
It's just because you didn't smile. It's not because you were black.
no, they were talking everyone else except me.
Out of circle, you get ready to...
Because you want to smile.
They're afraid of the unknown.
Because I mean,
Whatever
I
you
know
judge,
these
hey,
guys-
Randy.
I know they were talking about.
Quick question.
Go ahead, shoot.
Alright. When you meet someone like that doesn't smile, doesn't have any interest at all, just stays out of everyone's way, doesn't want to get involved with anyone.
Yeah,
so
would you judge them? Would you
Should I
judge
judge them because they don't smile?
No.
But when you think about it, I mean, if these kids watch
First
sports,
impression.
I mean,
What would be the first impression?
If I met a guy, what race?
No race.
No race.
Don't
Any
just
Anybody like
race,
this,
any race, and you didn't smile. What is that wrong?
Randy, think about it.
Real quick, Randy. I'm gonna help clarify the question from David, just so we're familiar. I think what you're saying, David, correct me if I'm wrong. You're saying that let's say that stereotyping no longer has the racial component to it. It can be any race. And do you think it's also right or useful or automatic to make first impressions based on actions?
Because that was the.
Okay. So let Randy respond since David asked him directly, and then I do need to hear a little bit more from Amora, and Sierra also needs to go as well.
I'm gonna clarify, okay? Right? Gustavo's an example, okay? I've known Gustavo just about as long as I've lived here, but when I first met him, he was mean. Like, he was an a-hole. Like, I'm not gonna play. He did not smile. He stayed out of everybody's way. And like, I was like, you know what? I might as well be his friend. You know, I'm friends with everybody else. Might as well. I came to this guy. He looked at me like I was like, I can't even explain. He looked at me like I was just nothing but out of my face, right? So I kept on bugging him until he actually became my friend, and we're super close now. Like, he's not my brother to me. And just because he didn't smile doesn't mean I judged him immediately. I was like, what if he's going through something hard or something? You never know. Like, what if he has a reason not to smile?
That's what I'm saying. That was my point.
And just to let you know what you did just now, and you guys can please write it down in the section on disagreements and resolving disagreements, because this was a perfect example. David asked a question to Randy about the nature of impressions, like whether or not you have first impressions based on actions or race. Randy clarified, and I think they came to an agreement about, even though it may be that you see something that seems to be a certain way, that first impression that Randy just admitted he saw of Gustavo, he didn't allow it to kind of dictate how he viewed Gustavo as a complete person. He continued. And David and Rosie also agreed with that. I think like the group agreed. So please use that as a disagreement and resolving disagreement example there. So please write that down. Take about 10 seconds for that while you guys gather your thoughts and write it down. Just real quick. I know you just a second. Just have time to write it down. Okay, that's fine. Mom, you'll be next, okay? And then I do need to hear from Amora and Sierra as well. I have Lonnie and then Amora, and you just need like a specific thing?
I was going to ask a question.
Okay, just wait for it, okay? And then Outer Circle, be ready as well, okay? Agreement, sort of a disagreement and then resolving the disagreement about the nature of first impressions. So there was a question asked, Randy responded to it, I think the group agreed with it even though it sounded like a disagreement in the beginning. Lonnie, what was your comment? And then Amora and Sierra.
Okay, what Randy was talking about, they didn't really see it, like, all they could really base me off of was the media. So, I mean, if you think about it, it's not really been good for black people in the media right now.
True.
So,
True.
And I was
Think about it like this.
Okay, that's the comment, Randy. Hold on. Amora?
Okay, so in our everyday lives, we will have to deal with people, different colors, sizes, gender, everything. And I personally cannot deny judging someone based upon the way they look or stereotype. But in my family, my parents are really racist. But it's just because like how they were raised, so they picked up on it. And so I mean, I got like into trouble a lot because I had a lot of black boyfriends. So they really didn't like that. So I mean I'm still in trouble. So
you got in trouble for having black boyfriends?
Yeah, just it wasn't the fact that I had a boyfriend, it was because the fact that they were black. So I mean, to me, like, it's not the skin color that makes someone a bad person, it's how they act. Like, I mean, it kind of like made me like change my whole just opinion about my parents specifically, but I mean, there are some times that I slip up and say things, but it's like only if I'm like really pissed off. I mean, like the other day, like I got into an argument with this girl, and she said some stuff, and then I called her a Dalmatian because she had a patchy skin tone. So, but I mean,
And you were angry.
I was.
So it was a way to hurt them, not because
Yeah,
you.
it's not because I
okay.
was intentionally just trying to pick on her, but it's because like she said something like that. I mean, whatever she said.
Right.
But it's like discrimination doesn't have to just be like your skin or your size. It's a lot of it is like sex discrimination, and that like really it just gets to me. Like I had joined the weights class here at school, and at first like a lot of the guys, they were kind of like, oh, like why are you here? Like what are you doing in this class? Did you sign up for this, or did they just throw you in here? Like, and I mean, to me, like I can do anything that the guys are doing. If I wanted to play football, I could play football. Like I could do what they're doing.
Which I've seen. I've actually saw that. I've actually, when I did, I've done varsity tackle at I had a female teammate that outdid me. I was a corner. She got more sacks than I did.
Can I tell you a quick anecdote? Because I'm sorry to take time. But I was also at this school doing weights, and I was a senior because I had waited a long time to do PE because I was doing a bunch of other classes or whatever. So I was a senior, and I had a friend who was very, very weak, and we had a teacher. I'm not going to name who it is. It's different than now, and he's no longer in the school. But he was constantly sort of bullying my friend who was a senior who was weak. And there was a time in which we were doing, I guess, whatever it's called when you test and you max out, or whatever that's called. Shows how much I know. And so he had stopped, and after he was doing like 80 pounds or 80 something like that, or 70 pounds, something like that. He said, he's like, just to let you know, Frank, a girl did 115 in fourth period, and to this day. He still like seethes when he talks, when he does that, just because of how bullying that was for his. So I would say the opposite. As a man, to be weak in a weight class is a very hard thing to go through. So that's also like an interesting perspective on Sierra.
I'm just gonna go off the
Sure, go ahead.
Anyone's comments, but,
That's fine.
I don't think it's okay, but I think it's necessary. From a military stance, sometimes I think it's unsuccessful. For example, during World War II, we put in all of the Japanese into camps in fear of some of them being spies, but later we found out that none of the Japanese were spies, it was the Italians. That being said, this is like why racial profiling is wrong.
Okay.
But what do you mean by like it's necessary?
Well,
You started with military.
yeah. Well, they have to do their job, and like I guess I understand, but if they're looking for someone that's Islamic or I don't know,
Muslim?
a bit, or yeah. Well, I mean, like obviously they would see like their skin tone, or they would just assume that it's like.
But I think like at the time, I'm not really good with history and whatnot, but at the time they were having problems with Asians, right? So that's who they looked into. I mean, they were quick on it.
Yeah.
We were in a war with Japan. So we assumed, because we're at war with them, so who knows? Like, we can't be too completely sure because we're actually in a war with them.
So you're saying fear is basing your thoughts on people?
Not fear. That's a reason for what
It's
we
just the way
did.
they reacted.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That's fear.
All right, so
I have a question.
Artie's going to ask a question, and then outer circle, you can raise your hand to introduce or answer or whatnot. We got 10 minutes left in that. Go, Artie.
Can you agree that stereotyping is prejudice?
Most of the time.
What is prejudice? What's your definition of prejudice?
What do you think, Artie? What do you?
I think that there's many definitions for the word prejudice, and I think the word that summarizes it is prejudging.
Okay.
Now, in life, we use prejudging for many other things other than stereotyping. Science, hypothesis, that's prejudging. And stereotypes proven intellectual ability. And then it serves as a filler, I believe, in order to, because you don't know everything there is to know about black people. You don't know everything there is to know about Asian people. So I believe you need to set an expectation. And then, that expectation will either be denied or, or it'll be correct. If it's correct, it's no longer a stereotype. So, but judging from that, what I'm getting to is I believe prejudice is knowledge. It's knowledge.
It's like looking at a plate of food someone made for you, and you're like, oh, it looks nasty, I'm not to eat. Or it's like really good. You know what I mean? That's whenever I think of prejudice, is what I think. I don't think prejudging is the definition. I think it's a good definition to say, but I don't think it's ever justified in any case.
Well, yeah. Let me qualify. Actually, Artie, you can qualify.
I have another kind of life thing, another life occurrence. Before I lived here, I lived in Orange County, and I volunteered at a hospital to do community service. I like to do community service, and they put me with they put me with a group to volunteer to help a group for a bunch of girls that were raped. And so I was just there to, welcome them, or to help sort out files for the counselor. And one of the girls said that, she was raped by a black man. And then another girl said that, she wasn't raped, but she looked, when she was walking home from cheerleading practice, she saw a black man just in a wife beater, shorts, sagging, and, rap music playing. So she turned around and walked away. But a few weeks later, that same guy was arrested for rape. And so I was just thinking, if she didn't stereotype him, what would have happened? That guy could have grabbed her, took her into his house and raped her. But she chose not to, so she saved herself. So in those kinds of cases, I believe that stereotyping is real. It's good.
So you're saying, like I said before, you're basing fear off of what you're going to
sometimes, if you go to or if you go to West LA and they see you wearing a red T-shirt, blue T-shirt, they're like, oh, they're from this place. It's not even just. It's not.
I'm just saying that goes with my knowledge kind of belief. That goes with my belief that prejudice is knowledge. Because there's patterns within knowledge. Prejudice is knowledge.
You're about 4 minutes.
The girl saw this and saw this was a bad setup. This had everything going on, bad times, because everything on it would point again. Not because it was raised, not because of skin color. None of that. It was because it was just walking home from school alone.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
But that could have been any gender. It doesn't matter what the gender. To profile anyone based on gender or race.
Right.
I didn't gender.
Do that. She saw a black guy.
There's a stereotype within black guys always raping white girls.
What? That's a lot.
Just to clarify, are you saying there is a stereotype, not that he is stereotype?
No, there is a stereotype that black men always rape white women.
There is that stereotype, but statistically, are the most sex offenders in
Exactly.
So Ronnie, what was your conclusion there? Ronnie, what did you say to introduce it or to sort of finish off? Guys, sit down, please. One, please.
What you guys just said, and since I didn't have second chance and stuff like that, they probably someone assumed I was too bad. But
You said it was you said something about it being like the media or something to do with that. That might be
most people from other countries or just places that I've never been around, right? So people they see what everyone else off the media.
Very good. I wish we got 2 minutes left. I think they did a pretty good job summarizing their own view, so I won't go through it. Make sure you have your notes, though, and that you've finished out your question. Any questions that you had that you didn't get to say outer circle, I apologize. They had a lot to do. Hey, let's give them a round of applause for an extra special as always.